The issue is, it's like with me, I currently say I am more of like a creator coach. Like I focus on like content creators and things. And that's hard because the content creator, just the creator economy space, you have to be really careful because you have people like some of the most popular YouTube channels are YouTube channels about how to grow a YouTube channel. And it's like this fucking circle jerk of shit, right? And that is what you see a lot in the creator economy, right? Like I am a writer who teaches aspiring writers how to write. Like, but what the fuck do you do otherwise? Right. I claim that I work with creators and I am a creator and I help other creators, reach potential or whatever the fuck my current tagline is. And that's hard because there are a lot of charlatans out there who they do that kind of shit. The evolution that I personally took, I started off so when I did therapy, I mostly worked with people who were in recovery from addiction, angry teenagers who had issues with authority, that kind of thing. And when I started doing coaching and when I started writing, I was like, oh, I'm going to focus on rebels, people who kind of buck the system, who want to blaze their own trail, have, issues with being told what to do, that kind of thing. Because I'm inherently oppositional, have been my whole life. And I interact better with, I tend to click better with people who are also oppositional to some degree. Started doing that. And then I realized, well, rebel is vague as fuck. And that like, what is a rebel? Who is a rebel? Like, I'm not trying to start a fucking biker brand or a motorcycle brand. What is this? Right? This is horrible positioning because it's way too broad. So then I realized, well, who has money? Who can pay me to coach them? So then I started coaching entrepreneurs, founders, like VC-backed founders, solopreneurs, and slowly more content creators, or people who were entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, founders, whatever, who wanted to become creators. That's what I kept seeing over and over again, is they initially wanted like productivity related help, but what they actually wanted was to create over and over and over again. So then I slowly realized that every time I say, oh, I help solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, VC-backed founders, content creators, there's a lot of overlap psychologically, but from a demographic perspective, it's way too broad. And every time I would try to give an example in my writing or in any kind of, outbound content I would try to create, I had to give too many caveats. Well, this is an example if you're this. Well, but if you're a founder, then maybe this is what you're struggling with. It was way too watered down. And I was appealing to virtually nobody because it was so watered down. So then I took a step back and I was like, okay, who are the people that I would work for or work with for free? Who are the people that I love working with them so much, them specifically, and the types of issues we tackle? I love doing that so much that I would do it for free. And to me, I realized I don't give a fuck about venture capital, the world of VC and founders that way. Like, I know founders who are doing real big shit, but that isn't something that gives me enough energy to specialize in it, right? I don't care about what the fuck rounds you're in or what your investors want or all this other shit. I love helping creators, and I can niche down further than that if I want, but creators are the people who really give me the most energy. I think niches are bullshit the way they're traditionally understood, because most of the time a niche is you pigeonholing yourself. And the reason so many people struggle with niching down or identifying their niche is this whole idea of, we contain multitudes, right? Like, I am more than any one label. So for me to say I'm the marketing guy, I'm the writing guy, I'm the YouTube guy or whatever, that is inherently cutting off 99% of the other aspects of who I am and the value I have to give, right? Now, if I use it to describe myself rather than define myself, and I know this seems arbitrary, but there's a difference between describing yourself and defining yourself. I can describe myself by saying I work with creators to help them reach their potential, overcome limiting beliefs, do work that matters, blah, 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 whatever. But if I define myself and I say this is all that I do, I instinctively have like this existential crisis of like, is this all I am? Like, how do I define who I am? Right. So like with you right now, if I said, what do? You could probably answer that question. I do X, Y, and Z. I help people with habits. I help people do X. I like this population. I write about whatever. But if I say, who are you? Well, you're like, I don't fucking know who I am anymore. Like, it's a simple question. Who are you? But it becomes so philosophical, so existential. Like, if you ask me, Corey, who are you? Man, we're gonna need to sit down for a while, because like, that's a really hard question to answer. When you're trying to define your niche, you're effectively doing the same thing. You're not asking, what do you do? Or who do you help? You're trying to answer, who are you? That's why I think a lot of people struggle with it, because there's so much more to you than that one thing. So what I personally have done is I kind of said, fuck the whole niche thing, fuck trying to define it and describe it or define it. I'm just going to do what gives me energy and what I think the world needs more of, and put out what I think would be valuable to the people that I care about helping. I love creators. I love helping creators overcome limiting beliefs, self-doubt, and all these other things. So I have focused on doing the things that give me energy that I think are valuable. And then I just let other people tell me what they think my niche is. That's what, and then I'm like, oh, I'll try that on in my fucking Twitter bio and see how it feels. So like right now, mine says, I explore the psychology of human flourishing, fulfillment, and what gets in our way, because that's what other people have told me that I do. So I'm putting shit that resonates with me out into the world, and I'm seeing what feedback comes back my way. And that is how I went from rebels to entrepreneurs and founders to creators. And in the future, it may change too, of like solo creators or creators for X, Y, and Z, right? Who knows, right? And maybe I'll expand back out. So if you look at like the people that you follow, the people who inspire you, you don't follow them largely because of their content. You follow them because of who they are. People don't, like, simple examples. People don't follow Casey Neistat because he's a New York City vlogger. They follow him because he's Casey motherfucking Neistat, right? Or Gary Vee isn't just a marketer, like he's Gary Vee, right? And insert whoever you look up to or are inspired by. It's that person. And the reason you resonate with them so much is because they show other aspects of their personality, of their interests. They help different types of people. It may all, revolve around similar content or topics, but overall, they've become, like this category of one, or they've clarified their personal monopoly, or whatever term you want to put to it. So I would ask, what do you get the most energy doing? What people give you the most energy? What topics give you the most energy? Because the reality is, when you do shit that doesn't resonate with you, you will burn the fuck out. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how famous you get or whatever, how many trophies you get, whatever, awards, you will burn the fuck out and hate it. Okay. Versus saying, what gives me energy? Who gives me energy? And how can I better position myself so that those people seek me out? Because I know what they need. I know what they like. And I am uniquely positioned to give them that. So that's what I'm going to do.